Narrated by Usama. The Prophet peace be upon him said, I stood at the gate of paradise and saw that the majority of the people who entered it were the poor, while the wealthy were stopped at the gate, for the accounts. But the companions of the fire were ordered to be taken to the fire. Then I stood at the gate of the fire and saw that the majority of those who entered it were women. Narrated by Abdullah bin Abbas, during the lifetime of Allah's Messenger peace be upon him, the sun eclipsed. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him offered the prayer of the eclipse, and so did the people along with him. He performed a long qiyam, standing posture, during which Surat al-Baqarah could have been recited, then he performed a prolonged bowing, then raised his head and stood for a long time which was slightly less than that of the first qiyam, and recited Quran. Then he performed a prolonged bowing again, but the period was shorter than the period of the first bowing, then he stood up and then prostrate. Again he stood up, but this time the period of standing was less than the first standing. Then he performed a prolonged bowing but of a lesser duration than the first, then he stood up again for a long time but for a lesser duration than the first. Then he performed a prolonged bowing but of lesser duration than the first, and then he again stood up, and then prostrate and then finished his prayer. By then the sun eclipse had cleared. The Prophet peace be upon him then said, the sun and the moon are two signs among the signs of Allah, and they do not eclipse because of the death or birth of someone, so when you observe the eclipse, remember Allah, offer the eclipse prayer. They, the people said, O Allah's Messenger peace be upon him. We saw you stretching your hand to take something at this place of yours, then we saw you stepping backward. He said, I saw paradise, or paradise was shown to me, and I stretched my hand to pluck a bunch of grapes, and had I plucked it, you would have eaten of it as long as this world exists. Then I saw the hell fire, and I have never before seen such a horrible sight as that, and I saw that the majority of its dwellers were women. The people asked, O Allah's Messenger peace be upon him, what is the reason for that? He replied, because of their ungratefulness. It was said, do they disbelieve in Allah, are they ungrateful to Allah? He replied, they are not thankful to their husbands and are ungrateful for the favors done to them. Even if you do good to one of them all your life, when she sees some harshness from you, she will say, I have never seen any good from you. Narrated by Imran. The Prophet peace be upon him said, I looked at paradise and saw that the majority of its residents were the poor, and I looked at the hell fire, and saw that the majority of its residents were women. Narrated by Abdullah bin Amr bin al-Az. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him said, O Abdullah, have I not been informed that you fast all the day and stand in prayer all night? I said, yes, O Allah's Messenger peace be upon him. He said, do not do that. Observe the fasts sometimes and also leave them, the fast, at other times, stand up for the prayer at night and also sleep at night. Your body has a right over you, your eyes have a right over you and your wife has a right over you. Narrated by Ibn Umar. The Prophet peace be upon him said, all of you are guardians and are responsible for your wards. The ruler is a guardian and the man is a guardian of his family, the lady is a guardian and is responsible for her husband's house and his offspring, and so all of you are guardians and are responsible for your wards.